Hi friends and welcome back to my channel Universal TV.
In the stillness of the North Atlantic, under a moonless sky and a blanket of stars, a ghostly silence echoed across the ocean. It was April 15th, 1912, 2:20 a.m., the moment when mankind's greatest ship, the RMS Titanic, vanished beneath the waves. This is not merely the story of a ship. It is the story of ambition unchecked, of faith placed in steel and steam, and of the human stories, dreams, hopes, and lives lost in the cold, black sea. Come with us now as we journey back in time to uncover the forgotten truths of the Titanic. The early 20th century was a time of rapid progress. The world had embraced the machine. Giant factories belched smoke into the sky. The telephone, electricity, and automobiles were reshaping life. Among these marvels stood the great passenger liners, floating palaces that raced across the Atlantic Ocean. In 1907, White Star Line set out to create a trio of ships that would redefine ocean travel: Olympic, Britannic, and the Titanic. Not the fastest, but the grandest. A moving city on water. Construction began in 1909 at Harland and Wolff Shipyard in Belfast, Ireland. The Titanic was a mammoth undertaking. Over 15,000 workers hammered, welded, and riveted the steel giant together. She was a marvel, 882 feet long, longer than 4 city blocks, over 100 feet tall, with 9 decks. Her hull alone required over 3 million rivets. Each weighed more than a pound. It was not without cost. Several workers were killed during the construction. Many more suffered injuries, though such sacrifices were considered routine at the time. The Titanic wasn't just a vessel, she was a floating statement of elegance. First-class passengers enjoyed unheard of luxury. The first-class dining saloon spanned the width of the ship. There was a grand staircase adorned with carved oak, wrought iron, and a glass dome above. Passengers could stroll the promenade deck, enjoy meals prepared by top chefs, read in the libraries, or relax in Turkish baths. There was even a gymnasium with an electric camel and rowing machine. Second-class passengers enjoyed comfort that rivaled first class on other ships. And third class, humble but dignified, clean cabins, shared facilities, and wholesome food. Many third-class passengers were immigrants chasing the American dream. On April 10th, 1912, crowds gathered at Southampton. Families waved goodbye. Porters loaded luggage, animals, and trunks. A buzz of excitement filled the air. Aboard Titanic were more than 2,200 souls. Among them, millionaires, aristocrats, artists, engineers, crew, and hundreds of hopeful immigrants. Captain Edward J. Smith, a seasoned mariner, stood at the helm. He was known for his calm demeanor and pristine reputation. As Titanic steamed across the English Channel to Cherbourg, France, and then Queenstown, Ireland, life aboard was joyful. First-class passengers attended lavish dinners. Champagne flowed, string quartets played. Second-class passengers wrote letters home. Third-class passengers sang songs, shared stories, and admired the grandeur around them. Despite her size, Titanic glided smoothly, but warnings were being received from other ships. Ice ahead. These messages, while noted, were not passed to the bridge immediately. The wireless room, manned by 2 overworked operators, was flooded with passenger telegrams. Iceberg warnings were just another message in the pile. April 14th. The night was eerily calm. The sea was like glass. The temperature had dropped below freezing. No moon, just stars. No waves to break on distant icebergs. At 11:40 p.m., lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee spotted something ahead, a dark shape. Fleet rang the bell 3 times and called down, "Iceberg, right ahead!" First Officer Murdoch ordered hard to starboard, and engines reversed. But Titanic was too massive. She turned slightly, but the iceberg struck the starboard side. ripping a gash below the waterline. At first, many felt only a vibration. Some continued dancing. Others went back to bed. But below decks, seawater gushed in. 5 of Titanic's forward compartments were flooding. The ship was designed to float with 4 flooded. 5 was fatal. Shipbuilder Thomas Andrews inspected the damage. He turned to Captain Smith. His voice was grave. "She is torn to bits below, but she will sink. It is a mathematical certainty." There were 2,224 people aboard, but lifeboats could only carry about 1,200. Many early boats were lowered half full. Some passengers refused to believe the ship was sinking. Crew shouted, "Women and children first!" Panic began to rise. Chaos unfolded on deck as passengers realized the truth. The rich and the poor stood side by side. Some clung to dignity, others to desperation. Among the chaos were stories of immense bravery. The ship's musicians played on, refusing to leave their posts. Their music brought calm amidst terror. Engineer Joseph Bell and his men stayed below, keeping the power running so others could escape. Many crew members gave up their own lives, helping others find safety. Molly Brown, later called the Unsinkable, took command of her lifeboat, insisting the women row. At 2:17 a.m., the last lifeboat left. Titanic's lights flickered. Her stern rose into the air. Screams filled the night. At 2:20 a.m., with a thunderous groan, the Titanic split in two and slipped beneath the sea. The temperature of the water was 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Hundreds perished within minutes from hypothermia. Of the over 1,500 lost, many were never found. The RMS Carpathia arrived at 4 a.m., pulling 705 survivors from the icy waters. When news reached land, disbelief swept the globe. Families waited at New York's harbor, holding photos, clinging to hope. Investigations followed in the U.S. and Britain. Regulations were changed. Lifeboats became mandatory for all. Wireless radios stayed manned 24/7. More than a century has passed since Titanic sank beneath the Atlantic. Today she lies broken at the ocean floor, 12,000 feet down. A tomb, a time capsule. The Titanic remains a powerful reminder of the fragility of life, the dangers of hubris, and the enduring human spirit. If you found this journey into the Titanic's untold story as powerful as we did, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Universal TV, and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive into history's most haunting and heroic moments. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next video.